Jasper woke up the next morning to find Steven's arms wrapped around her. "Morning, Steven." He looked at her face and began to smile. "Jasper, you finally awake? I was so worried." She blushed and laughed as Steven held her tight. "So what happened? Steven wears blue diamond?" He started stroking her hair. "Well, Jasper, the thing is," she looked at him startled. "No need to explain yourself, Steven Quartz." A voice spoke from the back of the room. Jasper sat up to see Blue standing in the back with her pearl beside her. "Steven, what are they doing here?" Jasper asked, confused. He could see how shocked she was. "I know, Jasper, she's in our home, but just trust me." He looked at her, trying to force a smile. She wasn't happy seeing Steven this way, but he already knew that he was doing this to keep her safe. "So Jasper, let's just go as if nothing has changed." Blue stood up and walked to the bed. "So is this what you two do the whole time?" Steven was trying to keep Jasper calm and drew her close, whispering in her eye, "Remember what I said?" Together. Jasper looked at him and remembered him saying it when they thought they were about to be attacked. "I know, Steven, we will be okay." Blue sat on their bed at their feet. "May I join you?" Steven and Jasper looked at each other for a second, and then he noticed her pearl nodding in agreement. But before they could even answer, Blue had already jumped into bed with them. "It's fine, I knew you would say yes." Steven saw that Jasper was uncomfortable. "Okay, Blue. Me and Jasper will get something to eat. Do you want anything?" She stared at him laying on Steven's other side, looking at Jasper with him in the middle. "Firstly, you haven't earned the right to call me Blue, but I guess because of our agreement it is okay, and diamonds do not require food." He shook his head in denial. "I really don't want to have to go through this again." As he got up from the bed, he helped Jasper up. "Blue, then stay here, we will try it later." Blue stayed laying in bed. "Why, this is so comfortable. No wonder humans spend so much time in these." Jasper and Steven got to the kitchen. "Steven, why is she here?" He came to her and picked her up, sitting her on the counter. "She made me make an agreement. I really didn't know what to do and you were hurt." Jasper pressed her finger against his lips. "It's okay, Steven, whatever it is, I know you will do what's best for us." For me. Their calm atmosphere was ruined by the sudden loud footsteps coming from the hall, and they slowly lifted their weapons. "Is it Blue, Steven?" He shook his head. "No. We left her in our bed, remember?" The mood went quiet as the steps got close and they started walking towards the hall. They turned a corner and saw a squad of amethysts looking at them salute. Steven and Jasper were confused. "Why are you saluting us?" The amethyst looked at them. "You are the special assets that our diamond spoke of, for her study." They retracted their weapons. "Okay," and kept walking down the halls to see ever more gems. "Jasper, what is this? Wait, do you think that they all came from Blue's ship?" She stretched out her hand and held his. "Steven, this is amazing, to see this many gems in one place in a long time." But Jasper froze in place, now having flashbacks of the war back on Earth. Jasper snapped out of it as he shook her steadily. She looked at him with teary eyes. "Steven, can we be alone? I just need to vent some of this." Steven called Lion. As he got out of the portal, all the gems in the base drew their weapons. "What is that?" Jasper ran in front of Lion. "Don't attack, he's with us." The gems calmed down and approached Lion slowly. "What is this creature? Some sort of gem fusion?" The gems were asking each other, but before they got to Lion, Steven hopped on Lion and pulled Jasper up. Lion quickly jumped through a portal, appearing back at Beach City. Steven had a sense of wonder for a moment, as he hadn't been with the gems for a long time. Jasper looked at the big donut. "Hey, Steven, how about we go there?" He hesitated for a while, thinking the gems might be close, but saw how excited Jasper was. "I guess a donut couldn't hurt," he said as he hopped off Lion and headed inside, but when they got there it was empty. "I wonder where everyone is?" Jasper asked, confused, and then heard loud cheering. They turned the corner and saw a parade happening on the other side of the street. "That looks fun, we should go, Steven." He wanted to stop and think about it, but Jasper had already grabbed his hand, charging in, cheerful and smiling. Then Steven stopped abruptly. "Steven, what is it?" Jasper asked with concern. "Nothing, Jasper. It's just that look at what we still wearing." Jasper looked down and remembered she was just wearing a long tank top with shorts. "Maybe we should get some costumes." Steven had grown a lot, but Jasper still towered over him. "Let's go to the costume shop." At the costume shop, Jasper started looking for a costume to wear but found something for Steven instead. "Hey Steven, I found you something, come here." Jasper was smiling. "Steven, I know you hate being away from your family, that's why I thought you should wear this so you can get close to them. Something for you because you are always doing something for me." Steven kissed her cheek. "How about we dress up like astronauts because we are both from out of space?" She nodded her head in agreement. They joined the parade and got on top of a float. "This is so much fun, Jasper." She knew how special this was for Steven as he hadn't been back here in a long time. She saw the gems come into view. "Hey, Steven, why don't you try to go and say hi to them? Me and Lion will meet you at home." He hopped off the float and waved bye to Jasper as she rode off on the float. She was having a blast, and luckily she had taken some pictures with Steven before he left. He walked up to the gems and stood in front of them. His mask was tinted and he had grown taller. Steven waved at the gems and they didn't wave back, especially Amethyst. As she walked off, he ran after her. "Do you think that human is trying to get Amethyst?" Pearl asked Garnet, but she didn't even answer. After they